Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, I want to explain myself, okay? Because I have a real thing, a real issue, and a real love of reserved signs for the ceremony. And I would like to explain why, how to do it, and who to do it for. So, you've probably heard me say this before, but I'm going to do it again because I think it's so important. I want you to picture, shut your eyes unless you're driving, picture it's your wedding day. Your bridesmaids are queued up. I'm queuing them down. I mean, I wouldn't be there because you would have had reserve signs, but they're queuing down the aisle. They walk down the aisle. It's so beautiful. Canon in D is playing. Everyone's crying. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. They get up to the front and there's nowhere to sit. And it's a room, all right? They can't go around the side. They now have to walk back down the aisle as the next bridesmaid. So now it's looking like a runway catwalk kind of Victoria's Secrets thing. They've got to walk back and then just try and find an empty chair. And the empty chairs are dotted sporadically. So now they've got to try and squeeze past your uncle, who's a bit of a perv, a bit of a grope. Like, this is not on, okay? You can open your eyes. It's just so easily fixable that that's what we should be doing, okay? You have to have reserve signs in your ceremony. Think of it as anyone who you specifically want sat near the front. So, first tip I'm going to give you is to name the reserved signs. I see a lot of weddings where they put reserved, or they'll put reserved row, or they'll do something, but people don't know if it's reserved for them or not. You might say, well, Georgie, I've told my bridesmaids that that's who's it reserved for, but have you told your auntie who thinks that she would have a reserved sign and she doesn't? You can't go and say to people, by the way, I haven't given you a reserved sign. So just write the names on it. Okay. So people that we probably want reserved signs for, definitely anybody who's walking down that aisle, flower girls, bridesmaids, dad maybe, or whoever is escorting you, whether you're having groomsmen walk down the aisle, basically anybody walking down that aisle. Okay. They absolutely categorically non-negotiable. They need a reserved sign. The next ones then is I would think of like your mum. Your mum might not be walking down the aisle, but you're probably going to want to sat somewhere. Like it might not be on the front row, but you're going to want her a reserved seat. That's typically your side all sorted. You need your partner's side to probably also have reserved signs. So think groomsmen, parents. I also think grandparents is nice to reserve seats for. I also, top tip, is to reserve seats for like the flower girls' parents. They don't have to be on the front row, but for example, for my wedding, I had on the front row, what did I have? My dad, my daughter, my bridesmaid. On the next row, I had the flower girl's dad and then my stepmom and my nan. So the flower girl could go to her dad and go and sit down behind the bridesmaid, who was her mum. On the other side, we then had Brian's family, best man, and then anyone doing a reading. Okay? Actually, my mum was also on that side. I made sure that my stepmom and my mum were on the same level so that they were both on the second row so no one can complain, okay? But I also made sure that anybody doing a reading has a reserve sign. Again, they don't have to be at the front, but they do need easy access out. So readings and witnesses do need to be able to get out of the chair easily. So I would put them on an aisle seat and just make sure that they can get in and out accessibly. And then basically it's up to you if there's anyone else you want to reserve seats for. So I would personally do the person doing the reading and then obviously their partner next to them. But if you've got like really close friends, a tip I heard the other week is to potentially reserve the back row as well. Because when you walk down the aisle, arguably the first people you're going to see is that back row. And you don't want to see anyone you don't really like. So you could put reserved seats at that back row, which I thought was quite clever. Also, if you've got anybody with kids that you think might need to get out of the ceremony, they could also be sat on the back row as well. So that's a good idea. So how do you do reserve signs? I'm not joking. This is why I get so mad when people say they're not doing reserve signs. Literally print it out. All right? If bare minimum, print it out on a piece of paper, like at very least. Next level up is to buy some like hammered paper from Amazon. That's easy. That's cheap. Doesn't cost hardly anything. Print it at home. Cut it out in a nice shape. Add a ribbon to it. Next level is like personalized ribbons, the bow with the thing coming off with the reserved and the name on it. Stunning. You could put it on a fan. You could put it on a pack of tissues. You can put it on the order. Whatever you want to do, just put their name on a chair. And it makes people, first of all, feel special that they've got a reserved seat. It makes you feel better because you have the most important people near you. And also it avoids that awkward shuffle back down the aisle. Okay? Your homework today, oh my God, we should make this a feature of like the podcast, your homework today. Your homework today is to go and figure out what you're making for your reserve signs. One step up is if you actually just make your reserved signs and plan your seating for it. Make sure you speak to the venue about how many seats go on either side. You might have a plan A and a plan B, depending on if you're outside or inside. Go and make all those plans. You know who's important, whether you're getting married in 5 years or tomorrow. Make sure that's done. Okay? Thank you. I'm lifting the veil on wedding planning, making this journey together inspiring, supportive, and dare I say, fun. I'm your host, Georgie Mitchell, and this is The Secret Society of Brides. So, guys, I am going straight in today because I'm so excited for this conversation. We are basically talking about a topic that maybe none of you think about, because by the time you're thinking about it, it's too late, it's already done. So I have got Shakira Obaid, who is the commercial director of the Oldwalls Collection, and they own venues Sant Ffraed House and Fairyhill. Shakira, thank you for coming in.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. I have got so many questions for you. We're going straight in. First question is, how are you here? Not how did you get here today, but like, I want your start of life, maybe not start of life, university to now. How have you become the commercial director?
Okay, so I always thought I wanted to be a journalist.
You're giving journalist.
Oh, am I? Great. Yeah. Is it the white shirt?
Yeah. You look cool.
Yes, I always loved media, loved journalism, did a journalism degree, but I was also working part-time in the AA, selling car insurance and breakdown cover.
How was that?
People used to call it the graduate graveyard. But back those days, 20 years ago, you could make quite a bit of dosh if you knew how to overcome the objections.
Yes.
You know?
Was the salary low and then you got commission on? Yeah.
Salary was very low. But again,
illegally low.
Yeah. If you could sell the dream to a little old lady that she really needed car insurance or she needed to upgrade her home insurance.
Fine.
You were cool.
Fine.
So I feel like it was the best sales training I ever had. Now, I think that's relevant because I did that alongside my uni degree, which then sort of developed my love of the hybrid, which was my love of sales and my love for marketing and copywriting and all of that sort of world and creative. Then I left uni and went straight into like a really cool PR agency.
Okay.
And we had some really cool hospitality, like national clients, like the Radisson Blu and McCure Group, etc.
Yeah.
But I was always a huge hospitality fan anyway. So if there was a new restaurant opening, even when I was 16, I'd want to be there.
Really?
Yeah, always food and drink obsessed. So for my 16th birthday, and it was before it was like a national brand, there was like the One Ivy in London. And I didn't want to go to TGI Fridays.
Whoa, I love TGI Fridays.
I love the potato skins at TGI Fridays were elite. Nothing wrong with TGI Fridays.
All right.
Nothing wrong there, right? But I was like, I always loved luxury hospitality experiences. Even as a kid, like that was my version of like a day out at a fun fair or something.
Yeah.
Just always been obsessed with like brands and hospitality and whatever else. So was in this PR agency, and one of our clients was doing a fitness boot camp at Oldwalls Gower.
Okay.
The original Oldwalls.
Yeah.
And I went down to host this boot camp, and we had like loads of national journalists there. Do you remember when boot camps were a thing? Like back on Channel 4, and it was like,
we
how
can't
to stay
do it
thin.
now.
Yeah, you're
Too
not allowed.
toxic,
Yeah, it was so toxic. So we did like this fitness boot camp, and we took journalists like from like the Sun magazine, and all sorts. And it was like, I was about 22 at the time. I thought this was a massive deal, my first press trip.
Yeah.
And we were there all weekend. I'm a proper city girl. So when I was driving west, I live in Cardiff. I think that's the furthest west I'd ever been, down to Gower.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And when I arrived at Oldwalls, which is the original Oldwalls Gower, which is now a hotel and spa, shout out to them.
Okay.
I just fell in love. I was like, wow, this place is the most magical. It was like a converted farm.
Okay.
And I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah, not city.
Like, just not my usual city girl sort of life. And we did this boot camp, and we got introduced to the owner and the founder, Andrew Hull, who's the founder of the Oldwalls Collection and our chairman. And I remember thinking, what a nice down-to-earth guy. In my head, I had this perception of, if you own a business, you must be a multimillionaire and you must be like Richard Branson.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I never thought the normal people owned businesses and they were just like you and I. So we all met him on the Friday night, and then Saturday morning, I walked past the kitchens and he was there in socks and sandals making us all our bacon rolls.
Cute.
And I was thinking, oh, you've left him. You're cool.
Yeah.
Thought nothing more of it. Then around 6 months later, the PR agency went into administration.
Oh, yeah.
I set up my own little agency at the time, which was called Sarah & Seven, and I nicked some of the clients and took them with me.
Clever.
And Andrew and his brothers got in touch to say, do you want to come and work for us?
Okay.
So went down for a meeting. I was late. Shock, I'm always late. And the rest is history. I mean, I joined on a part-time basis and run it alongside my PR agency for like the first 5 years.
So you've been at Oldwalls this long?
Yeah, so I'm
And I didn't mean that as in, you obviously look about 25.
I've been there since 2012, so nearly 15 years.
Jeez, okay.
Dare I say it, I was one of the pioneers of what you know today. So when I joined, Oldwalls was a small family business, one venue, doing around 40 to 50 weddings a year.
Wow.
Within 2 to 3 years, we took it up to 200 weddings.
Wow.
2017, we opened Fairyhill.
Yeah.
And then I think we were the only lunatics to expand in the wedding industry during lockdown. We opened Ffraed House in 2021.
I remember Ffraed opening because
Yeah.
I just started my business and I remember watching it all being like, oh my God, like
Bold move.
Bold move, especially because respectfully, there were no weddings. Yeah. We're like, why are you doing this? But I think you guys were a bit like me where we had the availability.
Yeah.
So when all of you guys are trying to rearrange weddings, hello, we're open.
Yeah, well, we just knew that once they start, like they would have to start again.
Yeah.
And weddings are a rite of passage.
Yeah.
And so you were going to end up with this huge black backlog of demand that would need to be satisfied.
Yeah.
And we were like, at the time we had 2 properties on Gower, which was Fairyhill and Oldwalls. We were like, we're not going to be able to satisfy that demand.
Yeah.
We need to expand.
Wow.
And it was a really bold move.
Yeah, but it paid off.
I think so.
Definitely.
Ffraed is huge. So
Ffraed is huge. And it's like, anytime I get a lot of couples that are like, we want to get married, here's our inspo board. There is always a Ffraed picture on there.
Oh, great.
100%. And even if it's, because it's quite, you've got quite a specific vibe. It's like modern, like the K rooms is what you are famous for, of like these glass.
Yes.
They're not orangeries because they're built, but it's a bit like, is it, you know, do you remember Thunderbirds where it was all like glass at the front and then it used to open and the ship came out? It's a bit like that where it's very modern in there, but then you've got the house part, which is not modern. I guess the interior is, I guess. How do you describe them?
Do you know what? You're spot on. I think for us, we just always wanted to set ourselves apart.
Yeah.
And do it differently and offer something different to what else is already out there. So the K rooms, we intentionally wanted a space that felt deliberately unwedding whilst also offering this gorgeous reception space.
Yeah.
So, and we knew that, you know, one of the things that people want is panoramic views.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the most underrated things that people want is a state-of-the-art space with good sound, good lighting, and most importantly, especially with this weather, aircon.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we wanted it to deliberately contrast. So it came about when we bought Fairyhill in 2017. That was our first K room.
Yeah.
You've obviously got this 300-year-old Georgian manor house with this gorgeous facade. And then we were like, why try and be sympathetic? Let's deliberately
stick a spaceship on the end. Yeah.
Because whether people like it or hate it, they're going to talk about it.
Yeah. But you could, I mean, I like them, so it's difficult.
Thanks.
Like it's difficult for
We
me to
love
say because they look cool.
Yeah.
They don't look weird added on.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think it doesn't look like a wedding space, but it's actually perfect for a wedding space because it's like a bar.
Yeah.
I love a good bar. I am obsessed with a good bar, and I think a bar should be kind of the feature of weddings.
Agreed.
And I feel like your venues do have that. It's an actually, because that's where people are going to be.
Totally same principle. Like when we were designing Fairyhill and Ffraed House, and of course we had the luxury, which we didn't with Oldwalls, so that was an accidental wedding venue that developed.
Yeah.
But with Ffraed and Fairyhill, we had the luxury to design them specifically for weddings. For us, I think the most important things is the bar, the feel and the atmosphere and the vibe you get from it.
Yeah.
And again, I think this is a guest. I've been a guest at loads of weddings. Nothing worse than going and there's 4 drinks on the menu.
Yeah.
And you're being served, they haven't got an ice machine, you're being served a lukewarm Aperol.
Ugh.
Please don't do that to me. So it was really intentional for us to create bar spaces that felt like you were in. Yeah. I mean, the inspiration for Ffraed was a Mayfair bar.
Yeah.
That's our nickname in house. People say, all right, send staff over to the Mayfair bar.
Clever. Do you think so I think when people picture a wedding venue that's part of I'm going to say the word chain, and I know you're going to like squint at me because it's not, but like when it's a group of venues, do you think, or why do you think there's a negative thought towards it? And then what's your answer for that?
Oh, do you know what? That is so interesting. I think it's a way that people that are not part of a group can undermine what a group can offer.
Ooh.
Yeah. So when people say to us, well, I'm just a little bit worried because someone said, be careful, that is not a wedding factory. Well, if you were a hotel chain, what do? You sell rooms every day and you're a hotel every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do weddings. That's all we dedicate ourselves to doing. So we don't do conferences. We don't do Christmas parties. You can't come for a staycation. We are weddings and weddings solely. And so therefore all of our staff and operations and functionality is developed around that. So what you get in with us is 15 years of unrivaled operational experience.
Yeah.
And we know how to make sure that day runs like clockwork. And actually, boo-hoo, if there is a wedding the next day, the point is you would never know it.
How do you make sure they don't know it? You've got quite a nice
team.
Turnaround gap as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because I do hate when you've got one bride walking out with her boxes and the next bride walking in with her boxes. But that doesn't happen there, actually.
No, never. And we don't allow for that at all.
Yeah.
So, of course, we've got our cottages for the night before.
Yeah.
So the bride is safely ensconced in her cottage with her hair and her makeup, getting ready.
Yeah.
And their checkout time is whatever time the ceremony is. So they can, if they've got a later ceremony, they can chill in there till 2 p.m. if they want
Fine.
to. Yeah. And then the checkout time correlates, so you would never see each other.
No, that's the bit. That's the bit. And I agree with you about the whole wedding factory word, because to me, I would rather get married at a venue that does lots of weddings than, because I get the same thing where I don't want people to feel like they're just a number, but also you want me to do loads of weddings because you want me to be good at what I'm doing, and that's experience.
We're experts, we're not a factory.
Yes. Oh.
You know, and I think then if there is somebody doing only 20 weddings a year and they're also doing Christmas parties and conferences, then actually could you flip that on his head and say, well, they're not experts at what they're doing, or they're rusty. If they haven't done a wedding for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Are they ready?
Yeah, whereas we are constantly evolving and learning with each wedding, which I'm sure you are.
Yeah. Do you think, because I think the other negative that comes from thinking of being with a chain is the rules. We don't do this. Across any of our venues, we don't do this. We don't do that. We don't do, like, I'm picturing groups that are maybe bigger. They've got 10, 12, like things like that. How do you have rules that set across the board?
It's tricky, isn't it? Because you've always got to balance operational efficiency.
Yeah.
You know, because they're a commercial model at the end of the day with what the couple wants. I think that's something that we're learning to evolve. So I think we probably got to a point where we were so slick and everything run like such clockwork that if our coordinators were thrown with a curveball, they'd always consider it.
Yeah.
But we'd be like, oh my God, someone wants to do something different.
That's not what we do.
Oh my God, yeah. Whereas we're completely changing our philosophy now, which I know, hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about, which is, I don't think the modern couple want rules or tradition.
Yeah.
They've grown up in an era of choice and convenience and also inspiration. Like they are fed inspiration every day on Pinterest and Instagram. So their creativity is more so than it ever was 10 years ago because they've got more access to content.
You can Google, but it goes on to TikTok, Instagram, anything, and there will be an example of it. And if there isn't, I will go on ChatGPT or Claude or something like that, and I will type in what I want and it will make me an image. So when they're picturing it, they can bring you what they want. And I think yours is a really good point, and which is why I wanted to speak to you, because you are one of the venues that are actually saying, do you know what? And I think what you're saying is right. Do you know what? We were wrong. Yeah. It worked when it worked, to be fair. And like you said, it started off in COVID and it was a bit of a headstand get through everything. We were wrong for trying to make it the same wedding, the same way over and over again. So what was like the click that went, hold on, we're doing this wrong?
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because I think what you do as well is get complacent. Like ultimately, we probably are one of the most popular in Wales in the southwest. Yeah, and you go, ooh, we're doing well.
Yeah. Let's just keep doing that.
We had January is the best month of any year for us. So we look for, obviously I've been doing this for 15 years. Yeah, we can guarantee good January bookings. Yeah, and they were lower than usual, like not diabolical, but nowhere near forecast. Okay, for the first time ever. Yeah. And we were like, something isn't connecting here. We know the product is shiny. Yeah. We know we haven't changed anything.
Your socials are socialing.
Yeah, everything's doing everything. So something's got to have changed. And we thought, well, the best place to start, and actually saying it out loud now, it's so obvious, but it was probably one of the first times we did something of that nature, was, well, let's ask our stakeholders. Let's speak to the suppliers. Let's speak to the staff. Let's speak to the couples. Let's do loads of surveys. Let's host staff focus groups.
Yeah.
Let's host supplier focus groups and see what everyone else got to say.
And that was, it sounds, for couples that are
hard.
listening, it sounds ridiculous. Obviously, just ask all the people that work there and do all the stuff.
Yeah.
But it isn't. Not many venues,
You just
no
don't,
venues
you're so
do it.
busy doing it,
Yeah.
you don't consciously...
And if it's not broken, why fix
Yeah.
it? But actually, the hardest thing with weddings is that you're always working 2 years ahead.
Yeah.
So the inquiries for January now are 2028,
Exactly.
arguably, bookings. That was such a... It's the first one I've ever been to where a venue... and
We kept saying, what did we
poor,
do wrong?
Poor guys. They were like, go hard, tell us anything. And I was literally like, can I... And my best friend's getting married with you guys. I wouldn't let my best friend get married there if I didn't think it was a fantastic venue. But actually, do you know what? If you're asking me, I'll tell you on things that I've been here and this works nicely, because you guys don't see other venues.
Yeah.
You don't get to go to work at other venues all the time. Whereas all the suppliers you invited go to 100 different venues every year. So we've got feedback for you that it was such an exciting meeting. What did you take from it then?
Well, first things first, Georgie didn't hold back, guys. But your insight was invaluable, so thank
Good,
you.
pleasure.
And
Anytime.
that was the whole point. So, yeah, and I guess you feel really uncomfortable asking we know what we're doing right.
Yes.
Tell us what we're doing wrong.
Yeah.
The biggest thing we took from it was flexibility and choice. I think there was a general consensus, and I think that came from you as well, as like, guys, you clearly do something really right. However, I feel like it's so operationally efficient that you're not open to new ideas or concepts. So I think that was a big one for us. And then speaking to the younger audience, a catalyst for us was one of our wedding team managers, well, the Ffraed House wedding team manager, shout out to Jess, who was amazing. We went around the room of our staff and asked them, would they get married with us? And we asked them for an honest answer. And then we also asked them exactly what type of wedding would you want?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's not for everyone. If you want to get married in a castle, I probably don't recommend Ffraed House, actually. No. It's just not right. Or if you want to get a teepee or a barn. Like, I think your point of it is, for couples who this is the right vibe, why are they not booking here? What is it? Yeah. So was it Jess that said no?
Jess said no. I mean... How dare she?
How to sit opposite like your bosses and be like, I wouldn't get married here. Savage.
No, I'm joking. But honestly, that was like a catalyst for us to go, we now need to look at our product, our price points, our formats, with the question of, because Jess is also younger, she's Gen Z.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to appeal to the Jessicas?
What did she say? What was her reasoning?
Well, she said, I don't want formalities. I want to do a smaller dinner. I want to start around 3:00.
Yeah.
I want to do a small ceremony and a dinner for around 30 of us.
Yeah.
And then I just want to go into a massive party.
Yeah, which doesn't fit in or didn't fit into
with
your
normal
format. Day plan, I guess. You're like, well, that's not what we normally do. We normally go to the... And I think that's the bit that a lot of venues get stuck at.
Yeah.
Is, of course, it's easier to do the same wedding over and over again.
Yeah.
Of course it is. All of that side of it is going to be 50 times easier when all your waiting staff come and they go, I know what I'm doing, I know what table I'm going to, blah, 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 blah. But actually, it's so important to be like, okay, tell me what you want and we'll make it work, I guess.
I think one of the biggest changes we're going to see from the next generation as they become the marrying age is going to be timings, formats, thrown up the wall. I think people are going to go, why do I need to arrive at 12:00?
Yeah.
Why can't I do a 3:00 dinner? Why can't I then do street food trucks at 10 p.m?
Yeah.
Or I don't want any formal sit down.
Just want the evening.
Yeah, just want to do the evening.
Yeah.
Or we've even got actually venue manager Greg.
Yeah.
Is doing it. Actually, I better not say how he's doing it in case it's still a secret.
Yeah,
but he is doing something
different.
Completely bizarre and different. So, again, we were like listening to all of our team, and all of them wanted, probably because they also work in it, not what we offer in terms of tradition.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, there's no harm in, there's always going to be a market for this big white wedding.
Yeah.
And we do it exceptionally well. But if we want to broaden our market and appeal to an emerging generation, we better start offering some choice.
Yeah.
We better be looking at the type of menus we're offering, why not offer several? We better be looking at the layouts. I know we just spoke then about the wedding in November. Why not offer serpentine tables, round tables, banquet tables? Give them the choice. Radical.
Yeah.
Why tell them it's got to be done in one way?
And the thing is, some things cost more.
Yeah.
If you want to do, you can do anything. I hate when people say no to something for no as in, just tell me how much more it's going to be. If I want to have serpentine tables, you might say, oh, we don't do those. However, can hire them in. It's going to cost you an extra £10 a head, and then let them decide if that's still something they want to do. But why is there the no?
Yeah.
The no is the weirdest thing to me. Just make it happen for somebody's wedding day.
Agreed.
Unbelievable. So you've then taken all this information. Was there any information that you thought was weird or anything that you thought, man, we're not doing that?
No, by the time, because we hosted literally like 6 sessions across Fairyhill and Sant Ffraed, by the time we got to the end, it became boring because it was just all choice, flexibility, more possibilities. Yeah. It was literally a theme running through all of the feedback we got, which was, you're amazing. Yeah. Dare I say it, no one does the big white wedding format better than you. Yeah. And you've perfected it. But why are you only selling one dream? And you sell several.
Yeah. You made a good point that your weddings were starting to look the same.
So our socials are the same.
Everything all look the same. You've got the same wedding because you're offering really well, but the same package all the time. Yeah. That's like, we can do this, and then shock horror, every wedding looks exactly the same because they're picking all the same stuff. So what, I mean, I know the plan, but you tell the people the plan. How, because obviously you can't showcase something you don't do. How have you come around from that?
Well, did you have a nice time last Tuesday?
I had a really good time.
Did Brian have a nice time when I roped him in to be a groomsman?
He was a groomsman for a man he did not know.
Dare I say it, he looked dashing.
I saw one of the photos online the other day and I was like, and my dad said he looked better at that than on our wedding day. I was like, Dad, you can't say. He's like, the suit is very nice suit. But yeah, it was basically a big fake wedding. Yeah. Big fat fake wedding.
100%. So we don't do anything by halves. Like, as you know, if we're going to do a marketing campaign, we are very much go big, go home. Yeah. And we've got this whole evolution now to think about, and we need to change the heart. We need to inspire the hearts and minds of this entire generation. Well, it needs to start with visuals and what they see. And again, if we're not going to deliver those weddings until people see those weddings and they understand, that would look amazing. That is possible. Why do I have to have my drinks reception on the terrace? I could have it in the Italian courtyard. So for us, I think we got to a point where we're going, right, both of these venues are set in like 25 to 50 acres of grounds. There are endless possibilities to how the spaces can be used. I mean, why do we always have to use a ceremony room as a ceremony? Yeah. We just decided that probably back in 2021. Yeah. And then no one ever questioned it. Yeah. And no one thought like you could have a ceremony in the K room. Yeah. And then again, we just decided that the terrace down by the lake, the K room terrace, is going to be the outdoor ceremony area. Hello, we've got an amazing lawn and beautiful house. Yeah. But again, it would be like, oh my God, and then the couples just sort of follow suit.
Well, when you go for a show round, they go, you can have a ceremony here or here. And then you go, okay, I'll go there. Yeah. No couples. I think couples get scared to go into venues and say what they want. Yeah. Is there a way, like, can you give advice for couples that are thinking that? Like, if they're looking online and they're thinking, that's not how I would do it, can they just go in and say it?
Oh my God. So I'm going to look at the camera when I say this. The more vocal you are, the better. Yeah. I love what people would call the difficult couples. Yeah. The ones that know exactly what they want. Mm-hmm. I'd rather them vocalise and we can consider. They might inspire us. Yeah. As I say, Greg, our venue manager, Sant Ffraed House venue manager, is getting married in Fairyhill this October. Yeah. He came because he knew he could. He came up with the most ridiculous left field, like running order, plan, everything. And we were like, whoa. Yeah. How cool would it be if more people did that? Yeah. So we don't know what you want unless you tell us what you want. So there's no harm in trying. And we might tell you on your bike, there's no way we can do it. Yeah. But we're going to start with, let's try.
Tell me. The start is did you tell me? I can't say yes to something you don't ask. I guess it's trying to figure out, you guys as a venues are open to that. How can you tell that venues aren't open to it? Because the problem is you go to these show rounds a lot and you get promised the world, and then suddenly you start booking things and they're like, oh, well, we're not really allowed to do that. You're not allowed the candles. You're not allowed this. And it's like, well, you sold it to me.
Oh, yeah. The best advice I can give is, I guess, you can pick up so much from the vibe of the show around.
Yeah.
I think, when you're getting shown around, does it feel like a slick operation? Do they offer you a drink on arrival? Are everybody, presented in the way the venue wants them to be presented?
Yeah.
What's the service like on the day there? What sort of tone you got? So I think the first step is, if they're not very good at getting back to your inquiry, and
Bye.
they take days,
Yeah.
and they're only open 3 days a week, and they're very rigid on the showcase day, although they're telling you they can do everything, try and read between the lines during the booking process.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think if you're not good at the point where you want my money, you're not going to be good when you've got my money.
I agree.
If you can't communicate effectively at the start, if you can't tell me all the information, I hate when you ask people stuff and they're like, I'm not sure. Like, what do you mean you're not sure? If you're not sure because I'm asking you something random, but go and find out and then let me know. But it's when they're like, oh, that's not what we normally would do. I don't want a normal wedding. I don't want the same wedding as everybody else. I think that's the bit. So it's that if that pre-bit isn't fantastic, the post bit is not going to be.
I totally agree.
On the wedding day. If you can't serve me a drink properly when it's just the two of us coming for a show round, you're not going to be able to serve my 80 guests.
And what's even worse, if any venue is doing this, is a plea not to. Do not charge for drinks on the show around.
Surely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard some dark rumours.
The problem I have with Ffraed, especially because I go to Ffraed more than Fairyhill, but both. The problem I have with you guys is that you set me a certain standard that I'm used to, and then I have to go to other venues. What do you mean you're going to charge me £4.50 for a Coke?
God, hopefully, whenever you've been with us.
I've never paid for a drink.
Yeah, a lot of the suppliers say they really look forward to working at our venues, because our philosophy is look after the suppliers. Like
100%.
feed them, give them a drink. We do like some complimentary supplier meals. We do complimentary in the night.
Yeah.
We do charge over and above a certain amount, but I think some...
it's quite normal to charge for them.
Yeah. But we don't charge a full amount. And if the couple genuinely turn around and say, I've spent the budget, I'm not willing to invest in any more for the suppliers... You will never go hungry at our venue because we will then do it complimentary.
We'll do something.
Yeah. We will always do something.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't understand, for me, it's a very small-minded mentality. If you don't look after the people in your community who are at networking events, they may invest in wedding fairs.
Yeah.
They might have amazing podcasts. Like, why on earth would you think that they are not worth looking after?
I want to bang my head against a wall. It feels like you're one of the only people who understands it, though, because even to me as not a venue, the more suppliers like me, the more bookings I'm going to get, because they're going to tell people. So when people ask me about when my best friend comes to me and says, where should I get married? I'm going to go, oh, Ffraed House is nice. They've always made me feel welcome. They've always looked after me.
Well, if you've got to go and spend a 14-hour day at a venue and you're recommending this venue, you're not going to go and recommend the place. I won't even give you a mineral water.
Yeah. Boiling hot, and you're not even bringing around jugs of water is unbelievable. Yeah.
I just don't comprehend it at all.
No, I applaud you for the looking after. I've never met a supplier that said anything bad about working with it, genuinely.
Yeah, because that is something we really pride ourselves on.
Yeah, but it's marketing. It's marketing. Like
it's also the cheapest kind of marketing you can do is to give somebody a £4.50 Coke, guys.
Because it doesn't cost you £4.50. All right, it's the syrup. If I want a beer, that's different. I think you should pay for that. I genuinely do. Soft drinks, you can have a soft
Disclaimer,
drink.
You can have a champagne or a beer on us, providing you can drink on the job, which I don't really recommend.
I know.
But if you're still with us at like 10, 11 o'clock, as you know, we're not tight.
Fine. I tell you, when I did have a drink at your place is that time when I got stuck there and had to sleep over.
Oh, yeah.
That was the time I got to sleep with Pat, and Dan does weddings, photo and video. We had to go share a room.
Well, that's quite cool. Is it worth telling everybody that? Because that was above and beyond from your team and mine, wasn't it?
Was
this the snow wedding or the weather wedding?
No, the flood.
Flood weather wedding. Yeah.
I think it was the first time I've been to Ffraed. Got there, couldn't get there first of all because it had flooded everywhere. I had to get the videographer to come and pick me up from the corner because he had a 4x4, something like that. He picked up me and Pat, drove us to the venue, got there, and your team, bless them, are trying hard to be professional in front of me in terms of being like, because we didn't know at this point, the chefs can't get in.
Yeah,
we've got half the guests can't get in. The cake is coming on the back of a tractor. The band didn't come. Like it went to absolute shit. and your team were like, no, we're just going to work out this. And I had to say to them at one point, I was like, I'm on your side. I was like, just tell me everything. Let's fix it together. Let's work out what we do. And Greg was there and he was like, we can offer a different day. We can do this. Blah, blah, blah. And I went and spoke to the couple and they were like, no, we'll do it today. We'll do what we can. And it was such a good wedding. It was so much fun. But I did have to ring Brian and was like, what's our rules in the relationship for me sleeping in a room with 2 guys? He was like, not great. And I'm not feeling great about it. And I was like, well, I'm either sleeping in the room with the 2 guys or with all the Ffraed house staff, because they all like to just sleep in the...
And I'm sure what we had to do, because some of the chefs from Ffraed house were based sort of like remote Brecon way.
Yeah.
It was actually easier to get our chefs down from Swansea Gower way.
Yeah.
And I think we ended up sending a truckload down. I'm sure that rings a bell. I'm sure it was us who sorted out the tractor for the cake.
Yeah, I think you had to come on the back of the tractor
so
as
again,
well.
above and beyond, guys.
Yeah. It was wild. She was, and they were the most chilled couple, because I don't think anyone had told her anything, and she was just living her best life in the like cottage bit is separate, isn't it? So she's living her best life, and I'm like, why is she not freaking out? And I was like, she doesn't know what's going on outside these walls. So I had to be like, look, I don't think half the guests are coming. And she was like, it's fine, we'll do what we can. I was
you
like,
do have those freak days.
all right. It was wild, and literally nothing you could do. It was flooded.
Well done to
the venue
you
wasn't.
And Team Ffraed House, because I know
We had
you
a great
delivered
day.
an incredible day.
It was a great wedding, like genuinely great wedding. I had a great time. And sleeping with the 2 boys was fantastic. I can't complain. They're good looking boys. So let's go back to the fake wedding.
Yes.
So what?
Right.
What?
So we've decided, after all this research, that our entire culture needs to centre around more choice, more flexibility, more possibilities. So therefore, we're going to need to start. And we've got to start somewhere. So I was like, right, we need to test out these new formats. We need to test out these new menus. We need to test out the new signature decor. Mm-hmm. What better way to do that than a fake wedding? Because we also need to test out.
You say that like it's obvious, but it's not.
Yeah, and it was really hard work, guys. Right, I planned 2 fake weddings in 2 weeks, so just call me Georgina Rose. No, joking, it was a month. But
that's loads of time. What are you about?
I think the worst thing I could have done to myself was give it a week between Fairyhill and Ffraed House.
Yeah, it was
but
wild.
when me and my team get a campaign in our head, or an idea, or something we really need to drive,
it's now or never.
It's
also wedding season.
To move. Yeah. So
how you even had time a day to do that?
I don't think the venue managers like me. Sorry, Hannah and Greg. I'm really sorry.
Never mind. They don't matter.
So yeah, first I was like, there's no better way than testing it.
Yeah.
Than actually testing it, investing in this properly.
Yeah.
Bringing together the best of our supplier community. So the best florists, videographers, photographers, content creators.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody that worked on that shoot, because they were incredible. And bringing the vision to life.
It's so different. I've got a real issue with styled shoots.
And it wasn't a style shoot,
it was not, and this is the issue.
Can't stand them.
Because what do you mean you've put 5 plates on top of each other?
Yeah.
Never. And then I'm reading the menu and I'm like, that's a hot starter, which means it'd be on the plate to come to, and it logistically doesn't work. So people get these Pinterest board pictures, and then you do have to say no, because you're like, well, I can put 5 plates, but then as soon as everyone sits down, I have to come out and take them all off, and then it just doesn't work. So doing a fake wedding was exactly that, of being able to look at it and be like, actually, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
They can't do that. They wouldn't sit here. Blah, blah, blah. So the fake wedding was like, I think we'll see fake weddings everywhere now.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Because
So it's something, another trend we've spearheaded.
Yeah.
But I think for me, exactly that is deliverable inspiration.
Yeah.
I see so many venues and stuff doing these, well, you just said really, these photo shoots where there's like one table of 12 in the middle of the abyss, like a field somewhere where you'd never be able to get service staff out to it.
Yeah.
You never, by the time the food arrived, it'd be freezing cold. And it looks really pretty, but it is not operationally functional. And also your guests would have a really good time, because by the time they got down to that area, they've had to walk through a swamp in their heels. And I was just like, I feel like you're doing that for creative vanity's sake.
Yeah.
I don't think is going to convert into deliverable inspiration or ultimately bookings.
Yeah.
I was like, we need to create something that inspires people to be able to picture themselves and their guests.
Yeah.
In those settings.
Yeah. Doing the wedding. And I think you can figure out, I mean, I didn't know it was anything that went wrong at the fake wedding, but as in you could see it from your service point of view and be like, okay, if we're going to do that again, for a real person that's paying for the thing. We wouldn't do that. We'll do this. We'll tweak this. We'll make sure, because even like you had to figure out.
It was behind the scenes. It was so invaluable for us.
Good. And that's like to see the serpentine table. All right, how do we serve a serpentine table? Because are you doing opposite? So you're going down one side? Because actually the table's really large. So it's knowing that. And so for us that were guests, we know what we're coming into. We know we're coming to a fake wedding, and the negatives are we're going to have to sit around a bit whilst you figure stuff out, whilst they enter a couple of times to get the shot, X, Y, Z. But what we are getting is free food, free drink, free party, free day out, nice dress to wear. Like, it's a given. I'm happy to give my day to come to a fake wedding and make compromises on the fact of sitting through a few things to be fed, watered,
100%. And I think for us, that was, we looked at it and went, okay, well, the best way to do this is fit as much as we can into that 12 hours whilst we got the people there. So as you know, you had to do 2 ceremonies in 2 different spaces, an indoor ceremony and an outdoor ceremony, brand new outdoor ceremony area.
Stunning.
You had to sit through the signature, our own included serpentine decor look.
Yeah.
Then you had to sit through the elevated one.
Yeah.
And then we had the 2 al fresco dine-ins. But if you're willing to invest in food and drink and entertainment for your guests, you happily don't mind being there for a few ceremonies, 100%. Do you?
The only thing I've got a complaint on, fuck my arms from waving those napkins. Jesus, they were like, keep going. I was like, they can't.
Well, the marketing manager this week, shout out to Kieran again, he's done an amazing job. I wheeled him into one of the photographs, and he was like, we were watching the videos, and they're really good. But you can see, obviously, we're cutting all the content. You can see on one of them, they're like, you've got some faces in the background like this.
Oh.
Well, they don't look like wedding guests. They don't look very happy, do they?
It's the 4th time we did it.
He was like, Shaq, I think it's the fourth time Mark Hancock asked us to wave a napkin in the air. So with you. Totally with you on that.
Yeah.
But no, I think like it was so invaluable for us.
Yeah.
Like I will now continue to do them. So please come to our next one. Obviously. I will do them 4 times a year at least.
4 times a year?
Okay, that's maybe a bit ambitious. At least 2.
Twice a year. I think twice a year is a good,
Point being, want to do them regularly.
Yeah.
Because there's an opportunity to product develop and test that it's going to work, and it doesn't just work on a Pinterest board.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a more valuable way to achieve that objective.
We need to do one where we invite these guys listening and just do it like a fake wedding.
100%.
We do the fake wedding, and then maybe we can stop in between bits so I can explain, like, this is what we do. You could stand here, you could turn here, you could stop and start, and like teach them how to walk down the aisle and stuff. Like, we could do a whole
well, I'm going to be doing
fake
one.
Wedding.
There'll definitely be a winter one.
Winter weddings are my favourite.
Totally agree with you.
Just saying.
I agree.
Undervalued.
Agree. Actually, autumn I think is my favourite, but I do love winter.
I also like spring. I like summer too, but winter, winter is like
underrated.
I like winter because it's bad weather. All right, plan your day based on it raining, and then if anything else, great. But it's cozy. No one's really doing anything. We're all excited to just get together. The party's partier. 100% party harder in winter because it's dark. I'm for it.
So okay,
is it cheaper?
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, we base our costs very much determined by day of the week and time of the year. So what you could get midweek in a November with us compared to a summer Saturday, you're going to save thousands.
Yeah.
Go and reallocate that elsewhere on cocktails or a dress.
Yeah.
Or go and reallocate it on a house.
Yeah.
Or your future.
Yeah.
But if you're prepared to compromise on day of the week, time of the year, and I'm with you, I don't think it's a compromise. Like last year, I was really popular for some reason. I went to 6 weddings.
Oh.
I know, check me. And what's annoying though is they all become a bit market researchy.
100% you're sat there going, oh, I wouldn't have done that.
Feeling like the count, like feeling the thread on the paper of the menus and stuff. But like by my 3rd summer wedding, I'm broke.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. Whereas chuck one at me, I've got a winter wedding actually in November too that I'm a guest at in Ffraed house.
Nice.
And I'm like, I got nothing on in November. It's usually a boring month.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Friday in November, yes please.
100%.
Plus, you can dress better.
Yeah.
You're not boiling even though we've got aircon.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a strappy top kind of gal. And the likelihood is you're going to be the only one to have a wedding that time of year, so you're going to get better presents. That's the one way that no one's ever thought about it. Right? I've always thought about it that summer weddings, if you've got 3 or 4 to go to, you've got a budget what you're going to treat them to.
Yeah.
If it's like a winter wedding, you forgot about what you spent in the summer.
Yeah. That's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone.
And people will remember you as, oh, remember that wedding we went to in winter?
Yeah.
I think it's more. I think it's got more talkability.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, for all of you that get married in summer. This is
summer's great.
I tell you, the problem is that we work in the wedding industry. We will always look at weddings different to people that are getting married because I go to 50 summer weddings and 20 the rest of the year. So
that's another good point. They're going to get a much fresh, even though I bet you're amazing at every single wedding. If they go for winter, they're going to get a much fresher Georgie Rose.
Or do they get the one where we were saying, if I'm back to back, then I know what I'm doing.
You
Smash
do
them
know
out.
what you're
Yeah.
doing. She does know what she's doing. We all know what we're doing, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, shoots. We're going to do one in winter. You have
What's
my
the
word.
Vibe? Or have you not decided yet? Because that was going to be my question
because
next to you.
Trends evolve, so I need to keep my finger on the pulse. So if you've got any ideas, let me know. But I haven't quite worked that one out. I'm still on an emotional come down from my 2 fake weddings. I've been to 2 fake weddings in 2 weeks, guys.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
They were fun to watch though, because it's interesting because you do have the luxury of you're not ruining a real wedding if you need to actually this needs to move and this needs to blah 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 blah. It's a good place. It's a good thing for a supplier to watch as well, because we're watching thinking, oh, actually, it does work when people want to do something weird. And I think suppliers freak out as much as venues do.
Yeah.
Maybe not me, but I like it when they're different.
Yeah.
Make it spicy for me. It's getting too easy. But like a videographer, so you did one of the ceremonies like runway style.
That was cool.
I can imagine videographers being like, where do I put the cameras? Where does the stuff? Because it's not typical. I think you're right. In 5 years, weddings are going to look so different. In the last 5 years, they've changed unbelievably anyway.
Yeah.
And it'll go again.
People want experience and they want intimacy and they don't want tradition. And that's across all elements, from like formats to timings to layouts.
Yeah.
Like, if it was me getting married tomorrow, genuinely, and I think he's got his place, and I love black tie weddings, but if it was me personally, I'm going to burn down the 6-foot round trestle table. I don't want to get married on one, no offence, guys, and to all of our couples getting married on when they look great. But
it's just not for you.
Not for me.
That's all right.
Not for me. But I mean, that's the point, isn't it? Is being in a position where you got this or that.
Yeah.
That we're not saying there's just one look. It's like, great, you want that formal, crisp white cloth round table, which, for example, my brother, I know that's exactly what he would want.
Yeah. Cool.
But also you can have a serpentine. Or if you've dreamt of an al fresco wedding, but you don't want to like ship Nan all the way over to Tuscany and you don't want the costs of it, then we can plan an outdoor wedding. I can't guarantee you the weather, but we're flexible enough to go in the morning. We can look out the window and give you a plan A, plan B.
Yeah. And do you know what's easier? And I spoke to Hannah, you guys all know Hannah, getting married at Ffraed. We were talking to the florist last night, and before the call, she was like, I don't know if I know what I want. And I was like, tell you what, tell me what you don't want.
Yeah.
It is so much easier for couples when you're getting married. If you do not know what you want, just start going through what you don't want. So you might look and go, I do not want long tables. All right, cool. You got less options now. Yeah. It makes it easier. Okay, you don't want white flowers. Cool. We're going into go through all that stuff, and you will get to the point where there's only one thing left, and that'll be what you want. So that's the easier way to be able to do it. For like you saying, I know I don't want round tables. Are you married?
No.
You want to be?
No.
Are you in a relationship?
I am.
For a long time?
Very long time.
How long?
7.5 years.
Want a ring?
Not particularly. I want a diamond.
Okay.
But it doesn't necessarily need to be in ring format.
Okay. I want a tiara.
Yeah, well,
Don't want to get married?
Don't think so.
There's so many suppliers that don't want to get married.
It's got nothing to do with being in the wedding industry either. Like I live, breathe, eat, sleep weddings.
Yeah.
Like if you went on my Pinterest board or my Instagram search, I mean, it's psychotically weddings.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But even when I was growing up as a kid, I was always a bit rebellious and I just never really fancied it. I always thought it was a bit tradition. It's not me.
Is it because you're looking at traditional weddings though? I guess now they're starting to change. Maybe you could get on board with it a bit more.
I think like one day, this sounds again like a business transaction, as we've got older and we've got like a house together and, you know, jobs and businesses and things, like my partner's got his own business. It gets to a point where it's like, it makes more financial sense. So I think but I've never wanted the tradition.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do speeches. And I don't know if this is a bit deep for the podcast, but even more so now I recently lost my mum.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine a
traditional
top table without her on it.
Yeah.
Or any kind of celebration without her in it. So I think I'd probably elope to Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking like find a random witness off the street.
If I happen to be there, maybe I could happen to witness it. Yeah.
I would elope to Vegas because I don't have a problem with commitment.
Okay.
Just don't like the notion of the wedding. I also don't have a problem with celebration. Like I love a party.
Yeah.
You might know this about me. I love a glass of champagne. I like a party. So I think it would be Vegas and then the biggest party ever at Sant Ffraed House.
Okay. So why aren't you? This is getting deep now.
God. Just, you know what? It's just never been like a massive priority.
Is it because he's not asked, or have you basically made it clear that you don't want him to ask?
I've made it quite clear, don't ask.
Yeah.
But,
so
you know, I'm
problem.
softening with age.
Okay.
I'm softening.
How
so,
old
Sam,
are you
if you're listening.
Yeah.
Are
you happy to share your age in a bracket?
I'm 37.
Are you?
Yeah.
You don't look 37.
Oh, thanks.
We keep getting that sort of running theme as well. Yeah. 37. What
I'm
you said?
37,
Yeah.
something like younger. Yeah. So I'm not
Okay.
getting any younger.
But just, I feel like everybody's doing everything older now, though. Kids, weddings. Like, I feel like it's
The average age is 35 now, isn't it? It's
yeah,
weird. Yeah.
which is old. I'm putting little thingies up before anybody kids. It's older, but bear in mind, we used to get married at 25. I think my mum got married at 25.
Yeah.
Like, I think her second marriage was at 25.
Do you think that's got a lot to do with, again, changing tradition with couples financially contributing more than they used to?
Definitely, because
we
we're
can't
paying for the
afford to
weddings.
do it at 25.
No way.
So if we're paying for weddings, we need to, and I think a lot of people therefore, especially with this cost of living and the culture of the last 10 years, it's so hard to get on the property ladder that if you had to think of one over the other and the parents are not in a position to contribute because they're not boomers themselves and so therefore they haven't got the money to do it even though they'd love to. Not saying all couples, because we got a real mix, I think, of like financial demographic that get married with us.
Yes.
Which I'm really proud of, because again, I think that's determined by day of the week, time of the year.
Yeah.
On who you are. And I think there's a place for
Everyone,
all ends of the spectrum. But if there is an increasing growing trend for couples paying, you can't afford to do it until you've got the house.
No.
You've got the cars. You've had the kids.
Yeah.
And then you can start saving up for the wedding.
Yeah. And it's difficult because life is so much busier. We're all busier now. So we have to be able to then save that money, find a date, and all our mates aren't getting married. Like, I think the biggest factor is the parents not paying.
100%.
If we knew, I mean, I was saying to you earlier, I was 18 when I met Brian. If my parents were going to be paying for the wedding, they would have done it when we were 25.
Yeah.
Because we'd been together 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 7 years we've been together by the age of 25. But I haven't got 40 grand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, and then you do start to go, and I speak to a lot of couples that are like, oh, it's such a big holiday though, and like you can have 4 great holidays. But my comeback to it is always, you can always have holidays. You can always do the holidays
never
after.
Get that opportunity to have that date. So just to be clear,
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with weddings.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with other people's weddings.
Yeah.
I have been a guest at loads of weddings. Most of my friends are married. I love weddings.
Is it because you can't picture yourself as the bride?
Probably, yeah.
Because it is hard watching lots of other people do it, and then you're like, well, I'm not.
I'm definitely a bit anti-bride.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely preferred Carrie Bradshaw's second look in a little 2-piece than I did in the Vivienne Westwood. Again, shout out, that was one of the most gorgeous dresses, but just not for me. And my vision has always been that if I did do it, like, I would do it in a suit.
Yeah.
A white one.
Obviously.
But a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Interesting. I reckon suppliers' view of weddings is so different.
Yeah.
So different. And I think we're the ones that are most likely to say, try something different.
Yeah.
Do something you don't have to do. Ceremony, wedding breakfast, dinner.
Yeah. I think that's the point as well. Don't think you've got to have the wedding with us. Like, especially now as we transition into this evolution of choice, you've got to have the wedding you see on Instagram or the wedding the coordinator tells you about.
Yeah.
Like, say to our coordinators who are really experienced and they see a lot of weddings, because they probably wouldn't want the format, go like, what would you do? What wedding would you have?
Oh, even compared to our wedding that we just had would be so different now.
But the best question I could ask you would be, if you did it again, what wedding would you have?
We'd have, so I have learned that we really like a dinner party. We like a proper dinner party, candles. I'd definitely still do New Year's Eve. I would want 30 people in the daytime. I want a really intimate, lovely... just tell you what I do. I figured it out. I would want the dinner first. I want to do a first look with Brian. Do some pictures, me, Brian and Isla. Go and do all that bit, get that done. Do a cocktail hour first. Really lovely, nice cocktails. Sit down for a really intimate dinner with 20, 30 people. Then I'd have the ceremony with all the guests. I'd invite everyone to be able to see the twilight-y ceremony, and then into big party. Big party, food constantly going around, cocktails going around constantly, just like that.
FYI, we can make that happen.
Yeah, I'll come. Do me a deal. Brian said he won't marry me again. Not on New Year's Eve, you won't do me a deal.
Vow renewal?
I don't like vow renewals.
Oh, okay.
I think
you're screwed then, you're done.
Yeah. I'll find someone else. I'll meet someone else. See who's next. Yeah, but I think vow renewals are what's the word? Like a bad luck. Only because my mum and dad did a vow renewal, and then literally within the year they were divorced, and I was
Fair
like,
enough.
Never doing one of those.
Fair enough.
Not trusting that. We've talked about trends a lot. Obviously, to start a trend, you have to think of a trend. So how are you thinking of a trend, but you've got to find the trend to copy the trend that people want the trend?
Jesus, minefield.
Yeah.
I think
Because you could put something out there and everyone's like, oh, why have you done that?
Yeah. I think a lot of it is based on broadening your horizons,
Yeah.
doing research like shock horror outside of the UK,
Yeah.
having a look at what they are doing in the States,
Yeah.
what they're doing in Europe, what they're doing in Australia.
Yeah.
Follow these accounts, follow Vogue Weddings, Rock My Wedding, or, like, you know, just gain knowledge and visual inspiration internationally.
Yeah.
Like, the sky's the limit. Like, don't think you've got to look at what that venue down the road is doing. In fact, I think that's the worst thing you can do.
Yes.
And I never look too closely at what our competition are doing.
Yeah.
I want them all to do well as well, because I think the whole industry, we can all bounce off each other.
Yeah.
But I genuinely don't care what they're doing down the road.
Yeah.
We like to focus on what is happening, like the bigger picture.
Yes.
So a start is a bit of everything. It's starting there. It's listening to the couples. Like, we're in a fortunate position where we get between sort of 50 to 60 new couples visit the venue every month
Jesus
for
Christ.
their show around.
Yeah.
So ask them.
Yeah.
There's no bigger survey than the visitors coming through the door.
And no one wants to talk about their wedding more than people that are looking at booking their wedding.
Ask them. Also ask them, what media are they consuming? Where are they getting their inspo from? There might be a blog you haven't heard about.
Yeah.
Or a very good podcast. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So we try and take like the inspiration from everywhere.
Yeah.
I know that sounds a bit cliche.
No.
But like from what the staff are seeing on wedding days.
Yeah.
To what the visitors walking through the door are saying. To what the wedding guests are saying.
Yeah.
To what's happening in Tuscany, Australia. Australia are really good.
Australia always seem to be
yeah,
a
they're
year
quite
ahead of
forward
us.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, they're quite a good one to watch.
And our problem is, hence why I love the fake wedding, our problem is it takes a year and a half to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing it now. Weddings aren't for a year and a half now.
Exactly.
So you're booking stuff. But I think the problem that a lot of couples get is that they don't want their wedding to look like everybody else's. But then all the stuff out there is the same. And then it's...
I think there's always going to be an element of just like anything else, like fashion.
Yeah.
So if you're a fashion junkie, you're all going to be looking roughly the same in spring, summer 2026, because you're all following one look of what Zara's just brought out.
Yeah.
Or which came off the catwalk of Milan or something,
Yeah.
right? So I think at any point with trends, you have to accept that's the trend. It's just making sure that
It fits you.
It fits what you do. It feels authentic to you. And as a venue, you're the trailblazer of that trend. You're not catching the tail end of it.
Yes.
Because I do think, for example, like tiramisu and dessert theatre is now massive.
Yeah.
And we've just launched our dessert trolleys and our giant tiramisus, and they're incredible. But make no bones about it, in 3 years' time, they're going to be as naff as the sweet shop.
Yeah.
It'll be a hog roast. Shop if you've got a sweet shop. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Stuff goes in and out.
Yeah.
And it just...
So I think you've got to accept that. But I suppose, again, we're coming from a position of supplier. So is old to us.
Yes.
To the couple coming through the door, and
Yes.
it's their wedding and their wedding guests who didn't see the other person do it. It's brand new.
Yeah.
Because I say that to my team all the time. Like, I'm already bored and I haven't even released them yet at looking at the content from these photo shoots.
Yeah.
It already feels old.
Yeah. But
that's
seen
because
it.
I've watched the video 50 times and asked for 1 million edits. So by the time it's released, the video's old to me.
Yeah.
But that's brand new the moment it's released.
That's how I feel. So hear me out before you all kick off. I hate the glow sticks. The big foam glow sticks. Fucking hate them. Every couple that asks me about evening, I say, have the foam sticks. Yeah. They're great.
It's new
Everyone
to them.
loves them. Nobody sees them. They'll all dance with them. I don't like them because I see them every Saturday.
Yeah.
Do I think you should have them? Yes. Did I have them at my wedding? Yes.
Yeah. The point is, if they worked on the Saturday, they're going to work on the following Saturday.
Yeah. They're just, trends are trends. Unless you are super unique and can come up with stuff. But it's hard to do that. But also you can't then find the stuff and
you don't want to
put
be
it
unique
forward.
for unique's sake either.
No. There's a reason trends
why
work.
some things work.
I agree.
Yeah.
We need some help the whole point of this conversation is that you guys are doing the talks before we even come and look around.
Yeah.
So when we come to look at a venue, you guys have already decided what our wedding's going to look like. For argument's sake, you've already thought about the packages that are in place, what's going to happen. How can couples go into venue viewings and be in charge? How do we know what we want before we get there so that we can not pick the wrong venue?
Fail to prepare to fail.
Ooh.
Research. I think the best place for any couple to start is Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest. Just get a feel, no pressure. Just get a feel, and to be honest, the algorithm will start doing it for you and serving you your vibe.
Yeah.
Just get a feel for what everybody is doing. Have a look at photographers' work to get us, get a feel for what kind of style is you. Because I always say, a couple, essentially, unless they're Elizabeth Taylor, they're only going to do it once.
Yeah.
So when they enter that market, it's not like a car where you've been buying them since you were 16 and you buy a new one every few years. And it's something that you're probably only going to do once. And so therefore, everyone's a novice in it.
Yeah.
So the best place you can... So the moment you get engaged, the likelihood is, unless you were the type of person that was manifesting the engagement and started your research early, because we actually get some people that come around on show rounds that are yet to be engaged.
Same, yeah.
You know nothing. You're a total novice. So the more you can research to get a feel of what you like and don't like. Again, what you said earlier, you might not know what you want, just know what you don't want.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I can say, which is the most important thing to do, is sit down with each other and have an idea of your numbers.
Yeah.
Do you want a big wedding? Do you want a small wedding? If it's big, is it family and friends? Does it look like 80? Does it look like 150? Does it look like 60? Or actually, is it just 30 you want? Do you want a party in the night, or do you just want to have a dinner party and then have a live band playing around?
Yeah.
Try and work out and sit down before coming to the view and collaborate as a couple on what you want and don't want, as much as collaborating on the vision.
I think venues hold a lot of power, and I think a lot of venues don't use that power very wisely. I'm not putting you guys in this group, but couples, like you said, don't know anything, turn up to a venue, doe-eyed and excited, and then whoever it is says, this is what we do, make sure you book your registrar now, here's the numbers, you can fit 60 in here, we then recommend you have 90 in the evening. They book because they've been to 2 other places and they weren't as good, and then they get a year in and they've suddenly started learning, they've got all this stuff, and now they're like, wish I hadn't done that, but they're in far too deep. So I think your point of research is so important. I know you're excited to go and look at venues, I know that you just want to get out there and start doing stuff, but pause, just take a minute, because once you're locked in, what's the deposit on a venue? 50% or
so
something?
We do £100 holding fee.
Okay.
So they got an opportunity to lock the rate and the date in whilst they're there, because then that's when we actually encourage. So at that viewing, we will say, go and have a look at a few others. Yeah. Go and do your research. Get the Excel sheets out. If it feels like you want to commit. Yeah. It's 1,900 quid, so the deposit's £2,000 with us.
I'm saying that's not horrendous, but also if they then decided not to,
does the big 50% upfront. But again, once you've locked in £2,000 a lot of money. So
to lose it, to be able to then that's the hardest bit. I think people just get so excited, which I would also do. And then it's too late, and then you realise that actually, I really wanted to do a free bar, and actually go into that venue, it's really expensive to do a free bar, and a marquee would have made more sense.
I'm really hoping that with this choice model that we're introducing, we're going to help our couples buy better. Yeah. They're not just going to walk in and go, oh my God, Fairyhill and Sant House, these are incredible. Never seen anything so aesthetically pleasing, and so therefore I'm going to sign the dotted line, but actually, is this one format? Yeah. At that point, they will have the option to go, if they never even thought about it themselves, what type of table should we have? Yeah. We're going to give them that, what type of format. What do you want, rather than going, these are the round tables that we use. And that's blah. So I'm hoping we can help them to inspire them, their own thinking. Yeah. By saying, well, actually, there is choice. Yeah. Surprise us. Yeah. Challenge us. Do you think social media is bad for weddings? Because there's a lot of comparison out there, and a lot of people that are listening to this now are probably, excuse me, balls deep in wedding planning, that they're at that bit where it's almost difficult because you get shown, I mean, you don't get shown Taylor Swift's wedding, but Taylor Swift wedding, Dua Lipa's wedding, this wedding, your mate who's really wealthy and her dad's paid for the entire thing and they've got free drinks and it's all bloody Stevie Wonder singing there. Is that the bad side of how can we navigate it? It's $1 million question, isn't it? Because I think there's no right answer. I think it's got a million pros. Yeah. And then, as you just mentioned, the cons. I think the pros are, it helps to educate people on creativity and visions that they may never have had access to.
Yeah.
But then by providing that accessibility, as you say, it might be opening them too far to actually feel a little inferior if they can't do it. So I always say, start with the inspiration, but then sit down as a couple and collaborate on what is authentic to you. And realistically, unless you are Dua Lipa or your dad is extremely wealthy, which, you know, most of our clients are the aspirational everyday me or you, if that makes sense. Sit down and work out your non-negotiables and what's authentic and real to you. So don't feel like, incredible. If you've got the budget, go and spend 10 grand on flowers.
Yeah.
But if not, then get creative. Use more candles. Have intentional flowers. For example, have like the best top table display and the best bouquet. But that doesn't mean you've got to fill every crevice of the venue with big flowers.
Displays.
So and I think it gets to a point, it's the same with any, like, it's choice, isn't it? We're all surrounded by choice. Like, you can swipe right, swipe left. When choice isn't going away, so you might as well embrace it. But
then don't you think decision fatigue is massive at the moment, of that, like, how do I, when everything is offered to me, how do I pick something?
Oh, do you know what? I think in a way you kind of got to embrace it because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think what you've got to be disciplined with is knowing your own mind to be able to sit there. Or if not, like, do a pizza boardroom, right? Invite all your bridesmaids around, or your bridal party, or your mum and your sister, and do this or that.
Yeah.
And actually work out the non-negotiables. Go like, okay, well, we know 100% we want a content creator.
Yeah.
So what are we willing to compromise on?
Yeah.
I don't think you can get away from it.
No.
So I think you've got to embrace it.
I like the thought of asking your mates, like, if you were going to plan a wedding for us, what would you picture? Because I think sometimes, first of all, you know, when somebody says something you disagree, that instantly, you know when you flip a coin and you know, like, if you're disappointed that you didn't want that, hearing what other people would kind of picture for your wedding. If I was going to do it again now, I reckon I'd message all my mates in my girl chat and be like, do me a mood board of the wedding you think that we would have, just so I can look through and be like, actually, that is a bit of me, that's a bit of me. Just seeing other people's opinion of you, I guess, or what they, because your friends know you more than anyone.
Don't underestimate the opinion of the real people,
as
well as the people you follow on socials and the influencers. Never underestimate that, and never underestimate the power of your own mind. Like, even if you are like, well, you and I are not exactly shy, but even if you are a less forthcoming person, like, in your own way then, or seek that advice from your friends and your family, actually don't get so swept up in it that it stops becoming about you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And actually just like take stock and don't let it run over on budgets and things. Like, if you can afford to do that,
crack on.
Or you can afford to get a credit card and you're prepared to pay an extra 300 quid a month towards it, crack on. It's the one day of your life that you will never regret, that you have to look back on forever. But that means different things to different people.
Because it's also the day, but it is one day. So you got to find that balance in between those two.
Cheesy, but be true to yourself.
I agree.
But friends and family advice is everything.
Agreed. I like the idea of looking at people online, speaking to the people you know, and then figuring out what you two want. Because I say it all the time, I will say it again. The best compliment you can have is people coming to your wedding and saying it's very you. I love going to weddings, and I think this is not what I would have at all. It's not my wedding. But I didn't pay for any of this. It's nothing to do with me. I want them to, if them two can sit there and be like, perfect for us. Like, I've done so many that are like Lego themed or Disney and I'm like, not for me. Absolutely not for me. If they had anything other than that, all of their guests would be like, where's the Lego? They play Lego all the time. Why is that? Like, I want there to be personality to me is the most important thing. And if you can find a venue that gives you the opportunity to do it, go for it. But my advice because we're talking about that before you've booked a venue, push and ask questions and ask everything you want to know before booking, because like we said, the best they're going to be is at that start bit when they're trying to sell it to you. Get it all in writing, get it all ready.
Be inquisitive.
Push the boundaries a little bit. Just give them a choice.
Give my team a headache.
She said it. You're allowed to do it. I have quick fire questions for you.
Oh my God, I'm nervous.
And then there was something we started talking about before we started recording, and I need to go and do it, but we'll do it in the society where we said, I want to kind of do a hill you're willing to die on. And I think yours was about evening parties and how we change that. So go to the society if you want to watch all that, because I feel like she's going to get a bit spicier. So quick fire questions. Modern venue or historic?
Both.
Can't.
Hours combine both.
You can only have one though.
But we've got the K room and the sort of building, Georgie. So how can I do that?
You can only use one of the rooms.
You can't though. You can use both.
You can't. Okay, bulldozer is coming in. Has to knock down one of them. You knock down the old room or the new room.
Oh my God. You can always build a new K room. You can't build a new 300-year-old Georgian manor house.
All right, there we go.
But I don't want to knock down either of them.
She said knock down the K room. I heard her say that. Micro wedding or big celebration?
Both. Stop it.
I know your answer. You're a party girl.
Big celebration.
Yeah, you're a party girl. Outdoor ceremony, dreamy or stressful?
Dreamy.
Dried flowers or fresh?
Fresh.
Cocktail hour, essential or overrated?
Again, I'm a party girl. Essential.
Yeah, I actually
they add
prefer
to
the cocktail
atmosphere.
hour.
Yeah.
I think a drinks reception should be shorter and the cocktail hour should have more effort put into it.
Yeah, I really think it sets the tone
Yeah.
for the evening party. I think when you do it after speeches, it gets everybody revved up, especially if you've given an espresso martini.
Yeah.
Ready for the evening.
Fire. Best part of a wedding day for a venue team?
If my team were answering that, I think they'd say speeches.
Well, because they get to chill.
No, yeah, but I also think they all listen to the speeches,
Do
and
they?
I think you get to it makes the day feel real.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, these are real people.
They've actually had a
and
history
you get to
before.
meet these real people.
Yeah,
and you've all the stress, the bigger stresses of the day, the ceremony, the food service is out the way.
Yeah.
So you can kind of relax, but you find out more about that couple.
Yeah.
If it was me, I mean, I stood behind clipboards before and actually cried at strangers' speeches.
I cry all the
It's
time at
my
weddings
favourite part of
lately.
the wedding.
Yeah. I love a dad reveal, love a speeches, and I do love the aisle. I do love an entrance. Like the walking down the aisle, that's unmatched. But I'm normally stood behind the door like, don't put my head around or get in the photo.
I love a cocktail hour.
Yeah, I do love it. Hardest part of a wedding day for a venue team?
Either ceremony or food service. Ceremony, I think, is because there's that nerve of like, this got to be perfect.
Yeah.
Making sure the doors open at the right
Yeah.
point on the beat to the music.
Yeah.
I think is underrated. I think people that do that well, I know you do, I know my team
It's
do,
important.
is like, because then it just sets the tone for the whole day.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ceremony.
Yeah. Ceremony music to me is, I had to do it the other day.
Yeah.
And it just scares me because anything can happen. Anything can happen to that music. And it's not, I'm almost glad I do it sometimes because at least I know that if it didn't work, if I couldn't make it work, it wasn't going to work. Whereas
big pressure, though, isn't it? When it's
but
all
if Brian
on you.
did it, I'd be like, well, I could have
get
done
that
it.
exact Taylor Swift beat for
Yeah.
the doors to open the same
Yeah.
time. So I think like food service is a massive pressure.
Yes.
Making sure that's seamless. But I think ceremony is a bigger deal.
Because everyone's watching. It's quiet.
Yeah, and ceremony.
Open bar or pay for your drinks?
Depends on the budget. We're not discriminating here. I mean, if your dad is loaded, open bar.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Open bar or extra flowers?
Diplomatic answer. Depends on the couple and their priorities.
Fair.
Are they party people? Are they aesthetic people?
What would you pick? You're a bit of both. That's confusing.
I am. So this is why, again, another reason I've got married is because I'd need at least 100 grand.
For the elopement.
You've seen my fake weddings.
Yeah, this is just
my
do it as a
standards
fake
at my
wedding.
fake weddings.
Put it through the business.
Yeah, I just had to put it through the business. I can't afford my own dream, guys. That was literally what it was for the first 30 years of my life. Can't choose for that reason. Depends on the couple.
I think
Take out a credit card.
Guests appreciate an open bar more than they appreciate flowers.
Yeah.
Your photos last longer, which show the flowers. So, yeah. One thing every couple should ask when viewing a venue.
Does it have aircon? If you're having a summer wedding.
Yeah.
So overlooked.
Does it have heating?
Yeah. Does it have heating? Does it have aircon? What in-house staff have you got? How do my day run? Do you have an event manager? Do you have a wedding coordinator? Take me through who will be running my day.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing venues should be upfront about.
Cost.
We had a big discussion about costs and
Cost.
changes everything.
Yes.
Yeah. One word to describe the wedding industry right now.
Evolving. Transitionary.
Yeah.
We've been serving millennials for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And with the average age of weddings at 35, we'll be serving them for the next 5.
Yeah.
But we have an emerging generation, Gen Z. They have a different set of expectations, and we all better evolve with them.
Yeah. They don't want to pick up the phone.
They don't.
I'll tell you that.
So they genuinely don't.
They don't. They won't pick up the phone.
I've
Absolutely
invested,
not.
like my team have now started using WhatsApp.
We
if
do
you would have
WhatsApp.
asked me 5 years ago, would I put my team on WhatsApp? I would have been like, oh my God, so unprofessional.
Yeah.
But now that is an expectation.
WhatsApp, couple of emojis, they love it.
They love it.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when it was, if you got an email through, you pick up the phone, speak to them. If you ring me, I'm not answering the phone.
I don't answer the
Absolutely
phone.
not. Don't
if
ring
you
me.
haven't scheduled a call with me, I actually get offended. Like if someone is ringing me and it's not scheduled, even friends and stuff now, I'm like, can you just voice note me? Why are you calling me?
See, I also love a voice note.
Love a voice note.
Yeah, so I think bit of voice note, and also put it on an email. Put everything on an email because we're busy people. I'm acting like I'm a Gen Z. I'm not. Put it on an email so I can work through it when I'm ready.
I totally agree.
I saw something the other day and I want to make a post on this because it was so clever. This is nothing to do with what we're talking about a little bit, but they had a wedding email, which I think is fantastic.
Rate those.
Yeah. And then they used it for their future, for like their family. So all their bills went into that email. All of the things they signed up to as a family went into that email. And I was like, that's fucking genius. It starts as your wedding one and then moves into your like family one.
Yeah, because I've had enough of copying Sam into stuff.
Yeah. Just have a look, like, open emails.
Feels so weird copying your partner into like the remortgaging stuff. Just
what do you call him? Your partner? Do you call him your boyfriend?
No, I feel like I'm too old to have a boyfriend. I'm too old.
So what is he, your partner?
Yeah, or him.
The other half.
Yeah, the other half.
Fine. Okay, I've got a secret from society.
Okay.
So we've booked our venue. We love it. We booked it 2 years ago. However, our venue sacked their coordinator in December. Kind of glad to see the back of her because she caused a lot of drama and trouble, especially regarding my dietary requirements. But now they have no one while they're hiring. The GM is standing in but keeps ignoring our emails. Is there anything else we can do other than call, email and wait? So many venues have a high turnover of staff, which is normal, I think. But to couples that are getting married, obviously they've got a 2-year window. 2 years is quite a long time to have the same member of staff. Is it that bad from a venue point of view when your staff changes?
Oh, like I think it's a bit different for us because we've got, a really great culture and team. And like Greg has been with us for like 7 years. I mean, I'm one of the pioneers of the brand, but I've been there for 15. I've got members of my team that have been there for like 8, 10 years, 5 years. So our turnover in our sort of key roles, something we pride ourselves on. Like Jess has been with us, I think, since around 2018.
So is it a red flag if people are leaving?
I think again, that says a lot for the business model. And actually, go back to the question you said, which is, what do you ask on your first viewing? Ask them. I mean, they might not answer it honestly, but ask them, how long has your wedding coordinator been here?
Oh, that's a good question.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if they say 2 months, the likelihood is they've got a new one every 6 months.
Yeah.
So, and then I don't really, without sounding arrogant, because we've never had that issue whereby we don't have the infrastructure there to look after you if someone leaves.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know as a couple what to recommend to them other than, you go barbaric and you turn up at their door.
Well, that's what I was kind of,
We've had a few horror stories. I won't say which venue, but we ended up having a few transfers because that exact thing happened.
Yeah.
And then the 2 owners were husband and wife, I think. And then they fell out. And then
people
were
have come over to you.
We've turned up and there's no one even there to look after us. And so that's tricky, isn't it? I think that goes back as well to like, sometimes again, not to get a plug in for us, but we're not the cheapest.
Yeah.
And sometimes if the price is too good to be true, appreciate there's a budget, but have a look at the bigger picture if you can afford to go, what's the structure like there?
Yeah.
Is it like a tiny husband and wife team that have got like 2 staff?
Which is cute sometimes.
Yeah.
But I would say you have to invest in bringing people.
If it's an operation, a wedding is an operation.
Yeah.
It's a huge day. That venue needs to look after 80, 100, 40 people, whatever it needs to look after. You need some level of structure.
Yeah. I think we need to all take a bit more time to figure out the hospitality side of it. Of, cool, how many staff will be there on my wedding? My favourite question to ask is how many bar staff will there be?
Yeah, I love it when people
ask
us that question.
how do I get more? I'll pay the extra hourly rate to have some more staff then, because what I do not want is a queue at the bar. Like stuff like that is so important. And I think it's one of those things you don't notice until after the wedding. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I wish I'd
And
I
that's
wish
why I
I'd
think,
asked for more.
same with any supplier, photographers, don't compare apples with pears.
Yeah.
Don't compare Tenerife to Barbados. Yes, if that's the budget, that's absolutely fine. But actually get the Excel sheet out and do pros and cons of each.
Yes.
And then think, right, well, if we go this way, then obviously for them to be able to charge that price, my expectation is less staff.
Yeah.
Although there might not be any staff.
Yeah.
So is it worth paying more
Yeah.
to have that security and peace of mind that because by paying more, that is because they're investing more in their people.
Yeah. And things
the
are costing
quality
more. The quality,
and whatever
yeah.
else. So it's a tricky one because I think if you make the informed decision in the first place and ask the right questions, hopefully you're not going to be in that situation.
Yeah. I think it's that as well I love when people ask me questions.
Yeah.
Send me the more questions the merrier because I can answer them all. It's my business. Like,
And you can do it on WhatsApp now.
WhatsApp, email, not going to ring you. I don't want to speak to you either. All right. But like all of those things are so important that I agree when you then get to this point. But for this lady, I'm assuming, but is to just keep pushing and actually ask for a meeting. And I think we've recorded an episode with a communication specialist actually. And it's that thing of being able to sit down and say, this is what I would like to talk about. Here's the thing I'm upset with. Do you have a resolution? Because we keep everything in so much. We work ourselves up. We go home. Maybe something happens at a venue. It stresses you out. It annoys you. The coordinator leaves. You're not hearing from them. You're getting more angry and angry. You're messaging in places. Whereas actually what you probably need to do is ring them up, say, I would like to book a meeting.
Be straight.
Sit down and say, my wedding's coming up and I'm concerned because, and you know this from a venue point of view, if you ever got a bride that feels like they're concerned, that day runs smooth as hell because you don't want the backlash. You don't want it to all pick up after. So...
And if they can't reassure you at that stage, seriously consider cutting your losses.
Yeah.
Because you might live to regret it. If they can reassure you, fair enough.
Yes.
And like I said, you might end up then with a better service because they're on tenterhooks, knowing they need to deliver for you.
Yeah.
But if that meeting isn't reassuring, then seriously consider cutting your losses. And that's why I also think, bit of a segue here, wedding insurance is so important.
Yeah.
Like I think that's, again, not talked about enough.
It's because they're all shit.
For the policies.
Yeah.
Are they?
Since John
Lewis
COVID.
has got a decent one, haven't they? Or have they
No,
just...
I don't even know if they still do it anymore. I need to find a really good wedding insurance. But since
I think
COVID,
you need to do
it
a
went
financial
to
episode on insurance.
Insurance. What a boring episode though, isn't it?
Get frugal
Brian
Brian to do
can you
it.
do some research on thingy? But like, I do agree. But if you wanted to cancel your wedding, you wouldn't. I don't think they'd cover you. You'd have to do so. Like, obviously, this is a plug for myself now.
You need to find a really spicy way around it, guys.
100%. Or you bring in your own team. So I've had quite a few venues where I'm working there, and they'll bring in Brian to work on the bar.
Good idea.
Because do you know what? You've not made me feel better about it. I'm going to bring in a bartender that can help. And every time he's been used somewhere, thank God he has been. Because it's just would have, you don't understand how it would have worked if there wasn't someone like that there. So it's, if you ever feel in doubt or your gut feeling is saying something doesn't feel right, do something about it.
Yeah, and actually at that point, you probably need to appoint a Georgina Rose. If they don't have any coordinating team, then even more so you need Georgie.
Bringing your own. And do you know what?
Because you are the person then to say, let's find solutions.
Yeah.
If they're not doing that in the venue,
yeah,
I would probably say the smaller the venue team, the more important it is to have a wedding planner.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you are that infrastructure support.
It ends up being the head of staff.
Yeah, because you can then find those solutions and go, let's bring in a Brian.
Yeah.
Let's bring in the right catering company to bolster this up. You're the bolsterer then.
Yeah. I'm happy to be the person that pisses everyone off. I don't care.
I know you are.
Brides don't.
Brides
don't want it. I know. But didn't it help?
You did.
As if you're a wallflower.
I know.
Thank you so much for coming on and talking about all of this. I feel like it's so helpful and it's so interesting to hear the before, like people that just get engaged and looking at venues, like all of this is happening behind the scenes before we're even going there, and it's been so helpful. Can you tell everyone where they can find the venues, where they can find you? If they've got questions, can they come and speak to you?
Absolutely. WhatsApp us. So oldwallscollection.com. We are working on a brand new website and brand refresh alongside our new evolution. But you can find us online.
Yeah.
You can book appointments online as well. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, partner sites, any digital platform you can think of. Of course, just at Sant Ffraed House.
Yeah.
At the Oldwalls Collection or at Fairyhill. And
where are you?
We'd love you.
Where are you?
I'm at Shakira Obaid. I was talking to Georgie about this earlier. I'm going to learn to get more visible. Maybe Georgie can
help give you some tips.
Help me here. I'm at Shakira Obaid, and yeah, I guess join our community because we love growing it. And as you know, when you are in our community, we love to look after you guys.
Yeah.
So we'd love your society and our community to merge and be
Should
one.
we do the fake wedding, guys? Should we do it?
Yeah, you are all welcome to come, by the way.
Also, you need to, even if you've got a venue, go and look at the socials because you are doing really good inspiration. And I think that's always in the back of your head of like, we're not expecting everyone to book. There's only so many weddings you can do. Come and take inspiration from it. Come and understand how it works. Just use it and see it because it's a really good... You're really ahead of things and it's nice to see. It's nice to see a venue listening and changing. Change is like such a negative word in the wedding industry and everyone's like, doesn't like change and stuff like that. Whereas you guys are actually like, nah, let's do it. See what happens.
All aboard the evolution.
Guys, go and check her out. Go and join the society if you want to hear our next chat because we're going to talk about the evening parties. Because what did you say? The Phoenix Nights style.
Like just boogie nights, I think needs to stay in the early noughties.
Fine. But we're going to tell you what you need to do to not have that. So go and check us out on there. Go and see all their socials. Make sure you subscribe. Do all the stuff you need to do on here. And I will see you next week. Goodbye.